Yes, guys, welcome back to the Once You're In podcast. We have another special guest episode. We have special guests episode. Yeah. We have Millie of Millie P Fitness fame, Millie Pierce.
Hello.
And we have Millie's boyfriend. And I'm going to call him that because it's like a running joke on the podcast that his name's actually Ed. How do you say your surname?
RIMMEL.
Yeah. Rim, yeah?
Yeah. Rims.
Rim job.
Rim.
Yeah. Yes, rims.
Did you get that growing up?
Yeah.
What, you got rim jobs?
Yeah, I got rim jobs all the time.
From your uncle or dad or family member?
Yeah.
Well, it was passed down. Someone else was passed down.
They took turns.
Did you get like at school like rim job?
Oh, of course, man. Yeah, of course.
But that's a good starting point. What was everyone's like nicknames, or what did you get taken the piss out of?
I don't mind. I said to you when I was for like 3 weeks, I was the new kid in Broughton Astley, so I was called Gay Reese because I had a high pitched voice, and there was another Reese who had a deep pitched voice. So I was just called Gay Reese. So I was like, I remember saying to you, like, I went home once after like a week, and I was like, thinking in my bed, am I gay?
I might be gay.
I was like, I might be gay.
It makes you question.
Like the 5 lads that I was chilling with apart calling me gay, so I was like, I might be gay.
Yeah,
especially when you fancied them all.
What age was that?
Oh, it was year 6.
Oh, so yeah.
Did you have any other nicknames at school?
No, not really.
What did you have?
Rims. Just rims.
Maybe 5 head.
Actually,
5.
I feel like
moon face.
Yeah, moon face. Yeah.
Moon face.
Any more?
I
feel like 10. This one.
No, I by my close mates, I get called Pup.
Why?
So pro clubs.
Yeah.
I made a player called Slush Puppy. So then I just started getting called Puppy, and now it's just gone to Pup.
Why did you call him that? You fancied it?
I thought it was really like funny.
It was good.
Slush Puppy. Oh,
what, did you unlock like the multicoloured hair?
Yeah. Oh, of course. I was high enough level.
The Curials on.
Yeah. No, I think I actually had like Asics because that's funny, isn't it? Like shit shoes.
Not nice.
You know what I mean?
They're quite nice trainers now, though.
Yeah.
Asics do decent ones.
Yeah.
Mine was skinny.
Yeah.
It still is. But not because, well, obviously I was skinny, but like skinny finny, that's what it was. Yeah. Or rabbit boy.
Why?
Because of my teeth. Because before I had my braces done, before I had my teeth done with braces, like these 2 teeth, my fangs were like on top of everything else. So like and to be fair, I feel like my front 2 teeth were like pushed forward a bit. But apparently it was because I had a rabbit. And I was like, come on, boys.
Come on, just tell it to me straight.
That's not that, is it? I was like, it's because of my teeth in it. Like, no, you've got a rabbit. And I was like, that's not it. And then it was like, but my rabbit died. And then I still got Rabbit Boy. And then it was apparently because I didn't have a dog. So because I've not got a dog, I'm called Rabbit Boy.
Yeah. How'd the rabbit die?
Fucked up eye.
Oh.
Yeah, good story. This. So basically, I think I might have said this before.
You've told me this. I know this.
I was fuming, right? So the rabbit had some issue with its eye. It was called Domino. It was black and white or white with black spots.
Right.
And my mum used to pick me up from the gym near school. I was like 14 at the time. This is when I say like I trained and then I had a bit of time off because I couldn't get to the gym and my mum couldn't come and pick me up and stuff. And basically my mum was sorting out the rabbit, which was my sister's. So she was like 2 hours late to come pick me up because they'd been at the vets, but they didn't tell me. So like when they picked me up, like they were both like upset, and I was like, "Where the fuck have you been?" I was like, "I've been waiting." And they're like, "Mum had a right go at me as if I knew that the rabbit had died." And I was like shouting at them. They're like, "Domino's dead," and I was like, "I didn't fucking know. Like you could have at least told me." I just literally sat like at the bus stop where she used to pick me up for 2 hours, like.
Did you cry? Did you shed a tear?
I might have done. No, about Domino. Oh no.
Well, you said might have done about your mum having a go.
I've been waiting in the cold for 2 hours.
I once killed like a hamster or something, like one of my mates, without realising at a sleepover. I've never told this actually. It sounds a bit like one of those serial killer to be's. Like we killed it.
You're gonna do 2 hours of just like us just talking about things. I've not interviewed you.
What hounds did you shag it to death? Like
we were like just having a bit of fun with it. Like there was a few of them, and then we like made some like assault courses where they'd like jump off, and we were like, but we were young. We were like there was like 3 of us, and we were like just like put some pillows. We had one, and we'd like start it off a pillow. We'd jump down, and one ended up like slipping, falling, and like going into shock.
It just died from fall damage.
Yeah, no, it didn't die from fall damage. It was fine. Then we woke up the following day, and he was on his back, and we were like, he's gone. So
you think that's your fault?
Not mine, it was all of us, but like we were having
Is
fun.
it one of those where like right, none of us speak of this ever?
Oh,
it's an accessory to murder, isn't it?
I'm genuinely pretty sure we put it in the bin.
Yeah.
My nan killed my hamster.
Your nan?
She was looking after it when we went on holiday, and we got back and she just gave it to us in a Tupperware. Because she cleaned it out with like actual bleach.
Ooh.
And then killed him.
It's not ideal, is it?
That's funny because I was literally about to say like the same kind of thing. When we had a hamster, I can't remember its name. But we went on holiday for like a week, and my sister's mate looked after it, and we got back, and it just wasn't there. And we were like,
What the fuck's that?
and she didn't say anything. She didn't mention it had died. It was in the bin. It was in the bin outside.
She didn't tell you.
She didn't say that she'd like obviously not looked after it very well. She probably forgot to feed it or something or whatever.
She just gave you the cage back without it in.
It was, well, she came round to our house because she lived like 2 doors down, so she had the key, so she could just come in and feed it. And we got back and he just wasn't there. We were like, so I went and asked her, and she was like, oh, I don't know. And then my mum found it in the bin outside.
I feel like hamsters and gerbils, they always die at an interesting death. It's never like, old age.
Yeah,
like, they always go out in style.
It's usually just they got forgotten about.
It escaped for 3 months, and then we found it under the dishwasher. Chilling.
I read a post about a hamster that like exploded from the inside because it like ate like baking powder and like vinegar, and apparently it imploded.
It was prepping and trying to satiate itself.
Apparently it imploded and went everywhere.
JP like falls out. She's trying to find a way.
Man like JP. You need to get JP on.
We will get JP on.
Yeah, that would be a very good point.
Right.
Way better than you two.
Right.
So yeah, we don't want to be. We usually do a bit of an intro, but realistically, like there's not like you guys are just like
Just
we're just gonna have a
boring.
bit of a chat. So let's give a brief intro. Like literally, when I say brief, I mean really brief. But we don't need a lot. Let's just have a chat. Ed, who are you? What are you doing? Why are you here? Other than you paying Finn and Finn's invited both of you on. You both pay Finn. That's the only reason why you're here. Like we both know that.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
sure.
and you listen to the podcast. You're Millie's boyfriend.
The main reason they're on is because
we train together.
It's the Millie's boyfriend joke.
So let's give an intro. When did you like? You were coached by Finn first.
Let's go. Millie, start first.
Yeah. How did you
that's
find?
Chronologically.
Yeah. Start with.
Who did you find? How long have you been listening to the podcast? What you're about? Come on.
Okay, so brief backstory. Was a netballer, so always trained quite a lot. And then got to lockdown. Obviously, netball stopped, and then my friend was a bodybuilding coach, but he didn't really coach prep clients or anything. I was like, oh, you can coach me, like fine. And then he was like, oh, you've got potential to compete, and I didn't really think anything of it. Started with him, got quite into it, and then just didn't go back to netball after COVID because didn't really. Was into the
netball's
gym.
a shit sport, isn't it?
Actually, no, it's a really good sport.
Do you miss it?
I do miss
netball.
netball.
It's
Like,
physically.
I miss
you
playing
were
a team
weren't you?
sport.
Like you played at a decent level.
Yeah, like I was playing like 6 times a week, training, and then playing like twice a week. So it's like a lot. I loved it, but you know when you kind of just stop playing, and I didn't miss it because I spent so many years playing it, and I'd got into the gym.
But then when you have a bit of time off, like now, like when I first stopped playing football, it was like a relief almost, because you play it so much. But now, like I haven't played football in ages. And I do miss playing.
I've been thinking about joining a netball team just like once a week. Just for a bit of, like, the team
Hybrid
sport's
athlete.
different, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know?
Hybrid athlete, that's what it's going to be.
You're going to do that deadlift comp as well.
Yeah.
I recommended that she should do a deadlift comp. Apparently she wasn't happy.
She looked at me and she went, fuck that.
Anyway, and then a couple of guys at the gym I train at in Cardiff were coached by Finn. So then I made the move.
What guys are you talking about? Eddie, you're right with
I'm
not allowed to mention it.
I'm used to it now, mate.
I'm not allowed to mention the word guy.
What guys?
Like,
A couple of persons.
Yeah, come on, move it on. Next topic.
Yes, and then signed up with Finn. I kind of just said I was going to compete, but I don't know, deep down I thought I didn't actually really think I was actually going to compete. Do you know what I mean?
I think for you it's almost like because you do have and still have a lot of potential because you've got really good shape, like people like push you towards it. Everyone's like, you should compete.
Yeah, so I kind of just was saying I'm going to compete.
Yeah.
And like, oh yeah, I'll compete in 2023, and then it got to 2023 and I was like, shit, like I'm prepping. So I kind of just did.
It's weird, isn't it? It does like, especially when you look back.
Like I didn't really believe I was actually going to do it.
Yeah.
Probably.
Yeah.
And then
I think that's a good thing to like touch on those. Like, a lot of people will think like that. Like so many people don't really believe that they're gonna get on stage, or they go into a prep and they're like, I'll see how I get on.
Yeah, I still find it weird that I actually did.
But that's fine. Like you don't have to be like I'm determined to step on stage this day and I have to be looking like this. Like just see how you get on. If you enjoy it, you enjoy it. If you don't, you don't.
Yeah. So
you just stuck with it.
Did first prep last year. It was like 32 weeks. I've been with you for 2 years now.
Yeah.
And then 5 months post show now, and here we are. Back in the off season.
How did the shows go? How many shows did you do?
Terrible.
Terrible.
5.
Bad coaching.
Just awful.
Yeah,
6 out of 6 in one show.
Was it actually?
Mm-hmm.
Which one was that? Was that the WNBF?
British
PCA final.
Oh, PCA final.
And the standard was good.
No, I'm joking. It was a good first season. I loved it, to be fair. Like I loved the whole prep.
So what shows did you do? Go through them chronologically.
First show was BMBF. Where was it? Northern?
The BMBF Northern, yeah.
That was first show.
Came third.
Can't lie, came third then. Can't lie,
Pissed off.
wasn't my favourite show because it was just all a bit chaotic. I didn't really know what to
BNBF.
expect.
I couldn't even,
Average BNBF show.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
I
was
couldn't
just-
like, I
didn't know what was
couldn't
going on.
see you backstage or anything, could I? They wouldn't let. So like, because I was obviously competing as well,
Yeah.
but even then, I should have
It
had
was a
loads
bit-
of time to still be able to see like you guys
Yeah.
backstage, but I couldn't. So yeah, it was just hectic that, and
And,
the
yeah.
finals was even worse.
Yeah,
Do you remember
I didn't
you
do
were
it.
still on the list to do the finals?
I forgot
I had to
tell
go up to
them.
Vicky and was like, Millie Pierce, she's not coming, she told you. And she was like, did she? I was like, yeah, I'm sure she told me that
I
she wasn't
emailed them, maybe I
competing.
didn't.
Yeah, you got crossed off the list.
But yeah, I came third in that, and that was actually my best result, but it was the one I was most pissed off at.
That wasn't your best result. Your best result was PCA.
Oh yeah, you're right, actually.
That was a really good result.
But I don't know, I feel like my first one, I kind of... Because I'm very competitive, I went in with the mindset, like, if I don't win, not that I was
No,
expecting
you don't
to
win,
win.
you lose, like that sort of
That's
thing.
what I
Yeah,
mean, like,
yeah.
so if you're losing if you don't come
Yeah.
first, aren't you? So then I was just a bit like, oh, like, it's annoying, because I'm not very good at losing. But then after that, I kind of fixed up, the whole mindset changed after that, really, like, and then it was PCA, what was it? Midlands.
Yeah, PCA Midlands.
And I came in a lot leaner for
Birmingham.
that one.
That was a really good look.
I loved that.
was
Yeah,
your
that
best
was my
look,
favourite
yeah.
show as well, actually, because I kind of knew a bit more what to expect, and
It's also
And the
ran probably a
standard.
bit better,
Yeah.
lighting's
Yeah,
better,
really, yeah.
stand's a bit
Was
more fun.
ridiculous.
standard was
Yeah.
really good.
Standard in that class was
Yeah.
really good.
Yeah, I wasn't
Where
even
did you
ex-
finish in that class?
Third,
Third in
but I
that
wasn't
was,
even
like,
expecting
really-
to like place at all, really. 'Cause
Yeah.
it
But
was
you looked
such
mint that day.
Yeah, no, that was
and
my
I think your
favourite look.
posing as well, like your confidence and your posing routine.
No,
I know they don't
definitely.
judge it massively, but it definitely helps. You
Felt a
remember
lot
the
more
BNBF
chilled
as
out.
well? Even the BNBF, they said when Millie came
Oh,
out and did
yeah.
her own individual, we all thought, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, my
she's
posing
actually
was
really
better
good.
than I
but
thought it was
we
gonna be.
said that when we were sat, I think, at the PCA. When you're on your own, you look really good because
I
you're
know,
structured.
yeah.
But then when you stand next to people, it's like, oh, you're young.
I've got
like-
shit legs.
Yeah,
it
legs
does
are a
stand
bit
out,
shit.
like, yeah.
Like it's almost like we both said, like your condition through your lower looked naff, but your condition wasn't naff.
No, it wasn't.
It's
Like I was
just
quite
muscle
lean.
just
It was
majority.
just
Yeah.
didn't have any muscle.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if you
Yeah.
go back and like looking through your shots on the Google
Yeah.
photos, like you were lean for your upper body for months.
I couldn't have got
Like-
any leaner. I would have just looked
Yeah,
awful.
especially
Like,
through your legs.
I was already
like,
withering away.
Yeah,
Like-
yeah, and that's the thing. It's like you lose that balance because your upper body was lean for quite a long time,
Yeah.
and then you're trying to get your legs in, and then your upper body just starts to fade because
Yeah.
your training gets worse.
The
I
Josh
also
Jenkins protocol.
Yeah.
And you
I
just look
also
worse.
think because like I'd only actually been bodybuilding probably like proper training like 2 years before the prep, maybe like a year and a half properly.
And that's natural
like,
training, so that's
this
like
is natural
realistically
training, like, a day,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, it doesn't even count. Really.
Might as well not.
Like,
Might as well not even
but I
bother.
think like it was deceiving because I like thought I had more muscle than I did, and then you get lean and I just look skinny. Do you know what I mean?
It does show like
I need the
muscle,
maturity.
muscle maturity
Yeah.
is massive, like especially in natural bodybuilding. Like you can see the people who have trained for 10, 15
Yeah,
years
they just
versus
look
the
better,
ones that have
don't
trained
they?
like
Yeah.
2 to 5 years. But like shape wise, like the potential's
No,
definitely there.
exactly.
So PCA was ticked off. After that, it was.
There was
UKDF? Yeah.
UKDFBA. That
That
was
was good.
high standard. Good.
Yeah.
Enjoyed that.
Fourth.
Fourth.
Yeah.
And then WMBF. That was my last show. I didn't do BMBF finals in the end
Yeah.
just because I wasn't
A
going to.
lot of people didn't.
Yeah.
It was
unnecessary.
it was such a hectic day that as
Yeah.
well.
And then final one, WMBF. I really enjoyed that show, to be fair.
Yeah.
It wasn't my best look. I think I'd kind of died out at that point.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah. It's pretty fucked at that point. Yeah, finished
Where did you place then?
fourth. I
Fourth
think.
again.
Yeah. So yeah, placed if that counts. As
If you think about that
top
for
five.
a first year, and the thing is, there's no
Yeah.
junior figure,
Yeah.
like so that's
Yeah.
all in just open figure.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
good. Like yeah, you did the PCA finals, and yeah, you came 6 out of 6, but it's the PCA finals.
Yeah,
You're against girls that
Yeah,
are
exactly.
all, or most of them are enhanced,
yeah.
and
And I held
you're
my
very
own,
young.
so yeah,
definitely.
exactly.
It was a good first year.
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed it. I loved the prep.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, most people, it's funny, like, you speak to the people that win shows, most people's actual first experience wouldn't even be that. It'd be,
No, exactly.
I did 4 shows, I maybe did 1 show because I couldn't hack it after that, and I didn't place.
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
yeah,
most people's
exactly.
introduction to bodybuilding,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy
realistically,
I just made it through
yeah,
the
it
prep.
should just be getting on stage, doing a show or 2, and probably not placing.
Yeah.
But you see the people that win shows, and you're like, oh, well, if they're winning shows, I must win shows. But
Yeah.
not many people do.
Yeah, because it's a lot
You know.
harder to like I'd say like the between shows, but
Is that
like,
something that
keep
you struggle
ticking.
with? Because I actually had this convo yesterday with, no, the day before, with Mel. Do you know Mel? Be Modified, Mel Jacob. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mel was his
The girl
girlfriend.
that was there with the
Oh,
And
dog.
okay,
she
yeah.
won, she did the same as Sanaa. So she won the overall, I think, at PCA first timers. I won the class. And then she won the British finals a few weeks later.
Yeah.
And she was like, I found like post show, like in between shows fine. But Sanaya always really struggles. And I was saying to Jacob about like in between shows, and it's like nobody's like, yeah, it's okay. It's either like it was easy, or it's like it was awful.
Well, the thing is, I'd find, I wouldn't say it was awful. I'd just say like you're kind of just waiting around, aren't you? And you're on such a high the couple of days after.
I felt more like it was an emotional dump where you have a few days of feeling good, and then like you come back down to normality, and it's just like, oh, you feel awful. You're like, oh, I feel trashed. And it was then you're got 2 weeks on the next show.
You think you're fine. You think you're fresh.
You feel really good, don't you?
Yeah, you've had a few days off. Yeah, you've had a few days off. You might have had a bit of extra food. You've had like a little bit less stress. You've had like an enjoyable day or two.
And I think
but then it all hits you.
Yeah, before the first one, you're kind of the adrenaline and excitement's carrying you through, so you feel alright in the peak,
and then the
like,
vibes
buzzing,
run out, and
then it's like,
the vibes run out. And
I think as well when you know that your body is fighting you a little bit. Like, towards the end for you, it was like, right, we're not going to try and get leaner because you're not looking better for it. Let's just try and sort of freshen up a little bit. But even by that point, it's been like 30 plus weeks now.
Yeah,
like, I'm just ready to start gaining weight.
Like I was ready to come out of that prep.
100%,
like I was quite excited to finish. Do you know
Which
what
is
I mean?
good though. Like that's kind of you should feel like that. I think you shouldn't be like at the end of a prep like, I want to keep going. Keep going. Like you should know.
I
this
said
is
that
the
after
next
the
phase.
first show. I was like, oh, I love prep. I would
stay.
that
was early though. That was pretty early, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. I think I was like 23rd week maybe.
Yeah, I think it should be a blend. It should be like the first couple, like the first show or two, you're like, I want to carry on.
Yeah, exactly.
And then by the last one, you're like, I'm done.
Right,
that's how I was. Yeah, like I remember
perfect.
for me because it was like, well, am I going to do bodybuilding? Or am I going to carry on? And I said like to Finn, I was like, I feel sound. Like I don't feel like I want to stop yet. So I was like, so I'm not going to. And then by the end, like the next like 2 or 3 weeks, I was like, okay, I'm ready to like.
You're like counting down days.
Once it's in your head that it's like, I'm done soon.
Yeah.
Like,
you always switch off, don't you?
Soon.
Yeah. It's like you just start to relax and you start to think to yourself like, okay, there's more to life than just being in this condensed prep period.
Exactly, and you're excited for like
It's hard to envision that when you're deep in that kind of process and it's like your first show, you're riding off vibes.
Such a weird thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
like, looking back at your mindset, it's just like so weird.
Oh, you think
like
completely
compared
differently.
to now, like it's just weird.
Takes time to switch off from that though, doesn't it?
Yeah, I feel like only recently have I really like.
Yeah, it's hard.
It's a different girl.
Yeah.
It's a different girl. Like
so let's
when
we'll chat about we'll go on to chatting about you and then we'll chat about like
10 seconds.
Chat about how it was throughout the prep because I think that's like one of the main
and then
things
also, I
having
think
you both on.
post prep how people think about
So let's go chat about like who are you, mate?
I'm Millie's boyfriend.
Right.
Hi. Hello, everyone. yeah. Let's move on.
The next question, please.
No, go on.
No, I'm Ed. So yeah, I've been training for about 7, 8 years. So I started training when I was like 14, 15 because I was in sport, similar to what a lot of boys do. Like you're in sport and you're like, oh, I need to get stronger, more explosive. I played football and I played basketball. So I played basketball.
A better version of netball.
Yeah, pretty much. I played basketball at international level, but it's Wales, so it's not that impressive.
Yeah.
Because it's
like
not going to grow anymore.
Like if Wales play England, we get slapped.
Yeah, the tallest Welshman's like 6'2".
Yeah. Well, this is what I'm saying. I'm 5'10" at a push.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
obviously,
I played.
Where'd you play?
I played as a point guard.
Oh, point guard. Okay.
Well, I can't really go to
anywhere else. Yeah, it's like point guard. That's it.
And then obviously I got into sport through that. I've always been into like coaching.
Yeah.
And like teaching things. Like my mum's a teacher, so I guess I've gained some of those attributes from her. So started training, kind of got into powerlifting. Did powerlifting for three years. Had decent success with that. Again, set a couple Welsh records there. But again, in Wales, the standard's not as good as like...
I was the first one.
Yeah, like I'd win comps in Wales and then I'd go to the Brits and I'd come like 6th, 7th, which is decent, but it's not the same.
What was your total?
Yeah, what's your SBD, bro? What's your numbers?
My highest total at 83 kilo was like 680, something like that. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it consisted of like a 235 squat, 175 bench, and like a 270 deadlift.
Good. Did you bottle the deadlift?
Yeah. So, sometimes, yeah.
That's strong,
but that was sumo though. I was pulling sumo.
Oh,
so it's cheating, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it doesn't count.
No stimulus. That's why my hammies are shit now because I didn't pull conventional.
You got nice big glutes.
Yeah. Kind of got bored of powerlifting. Obviously, I met Millie. She was obviously heavily into bodybuilding.
So while we're on this, we might as well chat about this. So obviously, when Millie signed up with me, she had another boyfriend.
Oh,
no, I won't go into it like properly, but like she was with someone else.
Yeah.
And then I saw that like you were like often like training together, or you were on her stories, and I was like,
she cheating?
No, I was like, something's going to happen here. I was like, I could just tell, like in terms of like, it just seemed as though that you went together well.
Yeah.
So then, like, when it obviously happened, like a few weeks or months later, I was like, I knew that was happening.
So basically, the rule is to the people out there: don't let your girl train with other guys in the gym.
It's very obvious.
Make it a rule.
Write that down.
So, yeah, carry on.
This happens.
Where was I? Yeah, so obviously started like getting to know Millie, training with her. Obviously, I've always like, even when I was doing powerlifting, I always enjoyed like the hypertrophy style of training.
Haven't you, as well?
Yeah, that's what Millie likes to say. But yeah, so kind of got bored of powerlifting. It's very monotonous. It's like squat, bench, deadlift.
Yeah.
Like, and I've got a decent frame for bodybuilding, so I kind of rushed into bodybuilding a little bit. I get very ahead of myself. Started coaching with Josh Croggan. I love Josh Croggan like so much. Like, he's a great guy. I rushed into coaching probably a bit too fast with him. And then I ran into some kind of like financial issues. So stopped coaching with Croggan. Went self-coached for like 4 or 5 months, and then moved to Finley over here. And have been
that period in between was just so that Josh didn't feel bad.
Yeah, I had to give it a bit of
It was
time.
actually like, I was just like, wait a little bit.
Yeah, no, it like obviously it was like a weird situation. But I messaged him. I was like, just letting you know I'm starting with Finn, and he's like, well, thank you for letting me know. Like, I rate it.
Sound. It's
Yeah,
like,
like-
that happened with any of us. Like,
Yeah.
Like, me and him got on
business
like a
at the
house
end
on
of the day
fire.
as well.
Like, we still speak. Like, he's
Mate,
like,
Josh
he's
class,
class. Yeah. But I've been with you for 4 months
Yeah.
since like November, like end of November.
Coming up closing in like 6 months now.
Yeah.
Because it was, I remember at your UK FBA show,
Yes,
you were saying
talking.
like,
You were trying to poach me.
no, you weren't. No, I thought you were still coached by
Yeah,
Josh.
yeah, you did. Yeah.
And I was like, and then you were chatting about like maybe getting started, or you said something
Yeah,
like,
I
I think
said
he's thinking
yeah.
about like maybe
Yeah.
starting in the future. And I was like, you're not still coached by Josh?
Yeah.
Oh no, I haven't been for like
Yeah. By
a
that
few
point, I
months
was
or something.
self-coaching
Like, yeah,
myself
it'd
for
been a while.
Yeah.
And then I was like, please sign up, mate.
Yeah.
Please. I'll do
And then you
anything.
started feeding me stuff like British champ, sort of stuff like this. So I was
Every
like,
day, hey mate,
got
just let me
sign
know,
up, mate.
have you filled out the application yet?
Yeah.
I bet you look so good this morning.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see that application.
Any recent photos you took?
Oh, they're so good.
Yeah.
You look
Yeah.
amazing, yeah.
So yeah, start with you, and obviously the plans to compete next year, 2025, in some federations as a junior,
Yeah, so you'll be a
but
junior
in a
UK
novice
FBA.
in others.
Yeah, but the thing is, you've got a lot of muscle, so like you're not going to look out of place as a novice, or
No.
like even in the open classes, you wouldn't look drastically out of place.
Yeah.
You're not you're a well-muscled junior.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and to be fair, you could even. So basically, when's your birthday?
It's right at the end of 2001. It's 23rd of December, which is annoying because like
This is the 22nd.
yeah, 23rd. I
Yeah,
am,
Dave, yeah.
So I'm like
Joint
you're,
party.
Yeah.
yeah. That's but it's like if I was like born like a week later, I'd be like a really I'd be at the start of the cap for juniors, if that makes sense. Because I messaged you about it and I was like, what's the cut off for juniors? Because like I turned 23 this year, so next year obviously is the year I want to compete at, but I'll be turning 24 at the end of that year.
Yeah.
So like this year, you could do
Junior and everything.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
next year, even if you did early next year, you could only be a junior in UK FBA,
Yeah.
because in WMBF, BMBF, even in like PCA, it's 22.
No, PCA. It's PCA. You'd be
It's
fine.
PCA 23.
Yeah, you'd be fine for PCA.
Okay, so PCA and UK FBA the same.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
then
it
all
depends
the
on
rest, all the
the
rest
date of the
22
show.
and under.
Yeah.
And they do that PCA naturals as well now, don't they?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That'll be good this year. That'll be a good show to go to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got Cam doing that, which will be quite cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that'll be a decent show.
And that's about up to date, really.
So let's go
Post prep.
on to let's
Prep
chat about
management,
prep
yeah.
first, and
Yeah.
let's chat about how like your relationship was. Because obviously you were together before
Yeah.
Millie started prep.
You
Oh,
said
yeah.
a different person. Come on, explain. Spill the beans.
Well, yeah. Well, this is like I mean that more based off like how.
Regimented.
Yeah, I
focused
got
on it.
used to her in prep mode so much that when she started coming back to life post prep,
Yeah.
like if she would like want to like lie on me or like give me a kiss, I'd be like, yo, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like you're not just forcing this to please me, are you? Like
No,
it's
so
weird like
much
making that
energy.
adjustment.
That's what Shannon
Yeah,
used to
yeah,
say.
exactly.
Shannon said stuff like that. She'd like when I was being normal, she thought I was putting it on to
Yeah,
make her
that's
feel
exactly
better. And
what
it's
I
like,
felt.
No, I just
But
actually
you don't
feel.
notice when you're not really, do you? Like
No.
when you're in that, yeah, like you don't really feel. I didn't feel like I was any different like in the prep. You just obviously are subconsciously. I'm
Yeah.
not.
Can I interject?
Yeah, go
Our
for it.
first ever conversation. Do you
Yeah.
know what you said? I'm
I
gonna
remember.
exact-
Yes, I know exactly what I
Ed
said.
basically said,
think
were
I
you there?
remember.
He was something sexually, and
Yeah.
you were like, Millie did this. I was stunned.
Like,
And I was like,
repeat.
It was
and I literally was just like, nice to meet you, mate. Great to hear that, buddy.
Hey mate, I'm gonna get this off my chest.
I needed to tell someone that has no connections to me.
Yeah. So the first thing, hey Reece, how you doing, mate? Really good to meet you. Millie did this last night. It's so good. I was like, mate, fair play.
So you were like trenches bad. Like you
And
were.
this was before the WNBF, and I think I was just on the vibes that I was about to finish.
Right, yeah, she was in the bin. She had a refeed, and we were sleeping in separate beds at this point, so she could get a good night's sleep.
I was going to bed at like
So
8 p.m.
yeah.
like
Yeah.
every night, and you're quite a late person anyway. So yeah, we just go and separate bedrooms.
Yeah, so she comes in the morning, and she's just like, "Do you want a blowjob?"
I didn't say that.
And I went, "Yes, yeah, go on then." It lasted about 30 seconds.
30 weeks of the
Lasted about 30 seconds, and then yeah.
And then thought the next time you see somebody, you could tell them, Reece, this is
Yeah.
what happened.
He got on his phone and rang all his mates. Boys.
I did put a message in the group chat straight away. I've got a group chat of Upper Tempo. Shout out Upper Tempo.
The
But
FK
there's
physiques.
yeah.
That's what it was. That would have been funny.
Yes, boys.
Yeah.
Yes, people. Everyone's
Millie's
good.
the only girl in it.
There's like 26 people in this boys group chat. We've got quite a big group of mates, luckily. And I just went, boys, you never guess what happened. They all responded saying, "Oh, you got some last night," or something like. They all knew what it was going to be.
They all knew
You're
that.
a
So
virgin.
that was fantastic.
Yeah.
But
Came in after a fasted cardio, sweaty.
Yeah.
Like, oh yeah, okay, sure. It's been too long.
Mate, you can't get picky when times are tough.
I'll take anything.
Yeah. But
God.
no, yes, it's obviously.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
So
What was the
Yeah.
topic?
I'm sorry for bringing that up.
So like,
I didn't need to go
Sorry,
into that
Kate.
much detail. I thought
Kate's
I'd
watching.
Okay,
keep
when
it
it was
reserved.
what did you struggle with like throughout the prep? Like, did you have any issues like relationship wise, or was it fine? That it's just like you had to speak about.
Do you want to answer that first, or
Yeah, we can.
yeah, go on.
I don't think we didn't have any issues. I'd say, like, I will say personally, I thought I was like all the energy I had for like socializing or whatever would go into you. Like my family will say differently. They'll say that like I was miserable or whatever. Like because I'd just get home from work and go in my room and just be done for the evening.
Crying.
Yeah. Yeah.
Eat lettuce.
Yeah. But then I would say, as far as I think, like I tried my best. Like
Yeah.
I was quite aware of myself. Of like, it's not really fair if I'm just a cunt. Do you know what I mean? Like I
Yeah.
need to be a bit. I need to put a bit of effort in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think the nicest part about it was that we never argued once during the whole
Just
prep
didn't
because
give
she
a
didn't
fuck.
have the energy for
Not many
it.
emotions.
Yeah,
I
me,
like
me
saying-
and I never argued at all. Like we,
Like,
when we
yeah.
were
I just felt
prepping,
quite
yeah.
numb, so like nothing would piss me off
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
You know, even like little things like now, like Shannon will say something, and like I'll have a response now, like where like
yeah.
if she's like saying something that I know isn't right, or like something that I think something differently, I have a
Yeah.
different opinion. Like now I'll voice it, whereas then I'd literally be
Just
like,
let it happen.
oh,
Yeah. But I also
I couldn't care less.
I also think it's like
Completely wrong. Don't care. Like that's how it was. You just go.
not only did she not have the energy for it, but I didn't even bother trying to like wind her up. Like because I'm a bit of a wind
Our
up.
relationship
like,
is very like,
like
we just kind
we
of
just take
Yeah,
the piss
like
out.
joking.
Like a good
Yeah.
relationship.
Yeah.
Like that's how a relationship should be really. But I
That's
just
what mine and Shannon's is like, but she just doesn't give it back.
yeah, it's just
Yeah, you just make it.
I'm
You just make it.
abusive.
So
Yeah, you just make
abusive.
it-
you just
Yeah.
verbally abuse your girlfriend.
Yeah.
And mate, just verbally.
The verbals, the easy
Yeah, that's
part.
Yeah,
She
That's
loves
not
the
the
verbals.
shit.
that's only the surface, mate.
Yeah, she had to talk dirty to me. Just like I talk words, I do words.
But I just didn't wind her up. Well, I knew
But
not to wind her up because I didn't want to stress her out.
But also, though, we don't live together, so I only really see you at the weekends, don't I? Because I work in the week.
Well, yeah, it was a bit different. I feel like we saw each other more. Did I just hit the table?
Watch the table.
I accidentally hit that
We
then.
both just
Fine,
like,
keep it in. I told him before, make sure you don't touch the table.
Yeah.
Makes it annoying.
Where were we?
As in, like,
you see each other on weekends.
yeah, we didn't we didn't live together. So
Yeah, it wasn't as frequent. Yeah,
yeah,
but yeah, no, it was our relationship through prep was sound.
yeah.
Like
no
again,
problems.
I understood the situation.
Yeah, that was a good thing that you actually got it. Like,
Yeah,
my mum was saying, I was speaking to her, and she was like, if you had like a normal boyfriend, like you just wouldn't.
No, it's true.
You just
though.
wouldn't. If
Somebody-
you didn't get
like
it, you
someone
didn't
who
get
doesn't
it.
train.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it's the same for any of us. Like,
Yeah.
if any of us did, it's like it is difficult. Like, I always think that when I have like clients who their partner isn't involved in training or bodybuilding,
Yeah.
like it is a lot more difficult. But You gotta explain that. You gotta be like,
Yeah.
but then even then, you explain it to someone and they
They
still
don't
don't
get it.
really get it, do they? Like,
Yeah. The only time we ever had like a falling out was
Let me
before the one in Manchester. What show was that?
BMBF.
BMBF. So
First one.
I offered to drive because obviously it's quite a long drive. It's like 3.5 hours.
Yeah.
And my car's a bit shit, so I was like, "Oh, just insure me. Like, I'll insure myself on your car for however long, 2 days or whatever it was, and I'll drive up just to save you some stress, so you can put your feet up, trying to do like a nice gesture."
It was the opposite. It rose my
Oh
cortisol
my
level
god,
through the roof.
this woman was like
what? He's
bad
driving.
shit
We didn't
crazy.
have an argument. It's just I couldn't relax when he's driving my car.
Yeah.
Do you
Yeah,
know
like
what I
she
mean?
was like amped
I had to
up.
take over in the end because it was good.
Yeah, no, I had to stop. We stopped at, where did we stop? Like a service
We're in the
or
look, that's why I
something.
came
Stop
third.
5 minutes into the drive.
Yeah, I pulled out the driving nut.
Come on, we're not
Switch
doing
it up, buddy.
That's it, you're
You've had enough time there, pal. But like, it would be like I'd brake like 100 meters away from the next car, and she's like,
I'm not a good passenger. I like driving.
and I was like, you have the energy to be this mad. You need to dig more.
Yeah, should be shredding.
I had a
Yeah.
big brief feed that week. Though, so.
Yeah, so that was the only
More
time.
like Jules
Yeah.
Byrne on road rage.
Yeah, yeah, that was the only time we had any kind of like conflict was during that like 3 hours that I was driving.
I think that's right.
And
That
then
was sound.
post show,
Yeah.
what's changed and how's it been since?
The post show is just it's nice to have
I just feel
life
normal
back
again
in it.
now. Yeah.
can do activities and actually feel like she wants to be there.
Yeah.
How were you post show?
Fine. Like nothing. Like too problematic. Obviously, just the standard post show stuff. But I didn't really like.
You managed it well.
I managed it well. Obviously, it is hard up until I feel like only kind of in the past couple months of do I feel completely normal in terms of like hunger and.
You've only been out of prep for like what, 6 months?
It's only been 5.
Yeah, I
It's
know,
been 5.
it's
So
actually
you say a
quite
couple of
close.
months. It's like 5 months. Is
Yeah,
not a lot of
yeah,
months,
yeah.
you know, when you think about it.
But no, yeah, nice to actually. I don't know. You come out of prep and you kind of have a different outlook, don't you? When you finally get out that mindset, it's
That
like
dies after the first, like I found that at the first one, and the second one I was like the next day I was like, oh, my
Yeah.
life carries on. The
It's
first
just,
prep
like,
I remember
weird,
thinking
isn't it?
no, but it was the opposite. I lost that.
oh,
The first prep I remember waking up the following day and I was like, prep's over.
Yeah, for like
I'm a
months,
new man.
like,
I'm
yeah.
a new man. This is completely different. And then the last one, I literally after like 2 days I was like, oh,
Yeah, but I think what you're
feel
saying
the
is
same.
you felt like the same mindset of prep for weeks and months.
Yeah.
I was the same. Like,
yeah.
I was still in the mindset that I was in prep, even though I wasn't. You know what I mean?
Sanaya said that to me. She was like afterwards because I had holidays afterwards, and I was like, I
Yeah.
did cardio every day for the. I still do.
Yeah, but
but I
not
did.
even
And
even
I was
from
like,
like a
yeah.
visual
Yeah, it's
standpoint,
just
just
like-
from like your
just the way you view,
Yeah.
like it's just
Yeah.
weird. It's
Yeah,
so
you do.
different,
Yeah,
isn't
you
it?
slowly
Like,
come out and like little tweaks and things.
and you're
pick
just
up
not
and you're
anal
like,
about everything, and
Yeah.
it's like nothing is actually that deep. But when you're on prep, it feels so like,
Yeah.
oh my god, like if I eat one
everything
cocoa
is
pop
like
more, I'm
so
gonna die.
everything's so regimented and like you're so like to the minute with
Yeah.
everything. Cardio, steps, posing. I've
Like
got to
meal
do this,
timings,
this,
it's
this. Like when you actually go, oh,
It's
like,
nice
I
not
could
to be
actually go
stressed
out
about
for a meal
everything.
and maybe not take a meal, and
Yeah.
we could go, yeah, we can
Or
grab
have a
some food.
spontaneous
It's like,
lunch or
what?
something, like,
yeah, it's
yeah.
crazy. Even just not eating every few hours. I
Yeah,
had to say that to clients a lot who were prepping. They think that like even when they're eating twice as much food, they're
Yeah.
like, I have to eat every 3 hours. It's like you've just had like a massive meal
This
that's
is it,
come
yeah.
with loads of fats and fibre. You're not gonna be like burning through that in 2.5 hours like you would when it was just whey.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it's gonna take a
Whey
lot
paste.
longer for it to actually happen when it was whey paste.
we're pissed.
There's the one. He says
He's
we
waiting
say
for
it
that.
every episode.
Yeah.
We say it with whey paste.
He sits there, he's fist bumped in his room. He's like, there I am.
I'm
I
still-
did love
Yeah.
this popcorn wet paste.
Still relevant.
I'll say that. I've
Yeah.
got
Are
a
you allowed to
question.
talk about that?
Oh yeah. I got a question yesterday about top 5 Perform flavours,
Popcorn.
and obviously the first thing I said was like, don't use Perform anymore, I use Repair. and I'm not lying. I don't use Perform, but like I was thinking of them all, and I was like, this, and I was like, oh my god, the salted popcorn. I was like, I forgot about that. Like,
Every
that was
time we
so
saw each
good.
other, we just go popcorn.
It's all we spoke about. it.
I use that now.
Banging.
It was so
I use
good.
that now with Cocoa Pops.
That rice cakes with that and jam.
Bit of almond butter.
Oh.
JP,
Oh, boy.
JP's watching this. Like,
Yeah, 6 a.m. on the sofa. Like,
this is
Oh, yeah.
it.
Keep it going. bro.
This is
Keep it
this is
going.
prime once you're in. You're in it.
So Aria messaged me earlier. So there's a girl. Did you see that story that Rach Fit put on?
Yeah.
So basically, she said like every time that football questions come up, they just skip through it. What do you reckon to do in a separate channel?
What about football?
I think we should do a
Yeah, I
separate.
don't care about the football.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, I
a lot
asked
of
too
people-
many.
We
as
need a
well.
rebrand though. We need
No,
it
I
to
think
be.
once you're in full time,
Like you said this. Yeah.
That's washed.
I think once you're in, you're in, and then something football related.
I just feel like we've got no backing in football other than just us watching the games.
Yeah.
Like,
I've got more backing in football than I have bodybuilding.
I don't know. Like,
I have more football knowledge and I'm better at football. Than
Your resume on football, does that exceed your British champion, mate?
British champ.
No, I'm probably the best midfielder in Britain.
Phil Foden, you don't know me.
Yeah, you can't even talk
obviously,
to me.
like, it is weird though, because growing up, it was so football.
Yeah.
It's like now with like netball with you. Like, if you do a podcast about netball, I bet you'd feel like you have so much to talk about.
Loads, yeah.
Whereas, like, you do one about bodybuilding. Obviously, we have loads to talk about, and like, I forget that I've been in this game for years now.
Yeah.
But
here's a
football's
question.
been part of our life since
we were literally like 3.
Here's an interesting question for you. Do you think it's more difficult to be as good as you are at football or to achieve what you have with bodybuilding?
Football's way harder.
Like playing at your level that you did, like semi-pro or whatever.
Oh no, it's way more.
Is that
it's
more difficult?
Yeah, it's not even comparable. Like football's stupid. It's just because of the supply and demand. Like how many people.
Well, it's because the amount of people.
The level I was at, like getting to semi-pro, I don't think for me that wasn't difficult. It wasn't like I've had to work so hard for this. If anything, I should have worked harder.
Yeah, I know some boys that play semi-pro.
Yeah, but like even then, you say they're decent. You are still so far out of the bracket from being like even like professional.
I remember like
in a youth team, not even then getting into like say the first team or second team.
Like my mates and stuff were like, "How have you not made it?" Like it was that kind of thing. Like, what the fuck? Like, how are you not? And like, I think it was always I was really small, so like the teams around didn't want me.
Skinny,
I was skinny, too small. But like bodybuilding wise, I'd say is more difficult from the standpoint like mentally. Like obviously, like pushing yourself to get in stage conditions is a lot harder than turning up on a Saturday. And playing, like at that level. But like Reece said, in terms of getting to the top level of football,
of course.
the pool is so like massive, and the actual percentage that gets there is so small.
100%.
Whereas like bodybuilding, to be fair, in years to come, because bodybuilding is getting more and more popular, I think it will. The standards only
Standard
like
gets better
look at the standard like 5 years ago, and look at it now. It's like Jesus Christ, like the standard's so much different, so much better now. And it's only going to get better with the amount of people that are getting involved in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Are you ready for questions, mate?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, it looks like it. You're getting them up already.
Well, yeah, we've kind of answered. Anything else you guys want to interject before questions?
No, I think we're all good.
Yeah.
Come on then.
Right, cool. Right, so Liam Burke will ask the table. How do you think I'm looking 1 week out from my show? So
you've asked the wrong people, mate.
No, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to because he's taken a photo, but he's like it's in the Instagram chat.
It's annoying that you can't zoom in on it.
Really weird. So there we go. How do you think he's looking 1 week out from his show? So he's
nice shape.
Send that to Sam.
There's more to come off.
Do you reckon?
But he's got cracking shape.
1 week out.
Tight waist.
He's got really nice shape.
Did men's physique before.
Probably closer to say like 4 to 6 weeks out, especially with anabolics used. But he looks good.
He did a men's physique show. He actually asked us when he last competed to rate his physique. We answered it on a we did it on like a Zoom, one of our first ever rated physiques. Yeah, he is, and he looks really good. Shape's a joke. Like I'm surprised he hasn't sent through his quarter turns because his quarter turns are like his waist is so small.
Yeah. Make sure you keep that as a photo. Send it to Sam.
But Liam, mate, you could be a fair bit leaner. Like he's doing FMC next week.
Oh, it'll be sound then.
You'll probably win a pro card on that, mate. You'll be fine. And then he's doing PCA, I think the Saxon Classic. Or is the Saxon Classic, is that a Scottish show or is it PCA Scotland? He said he's only doing Scottish shows. So I'm not too sure. But either way,
I'm guessing he's Scottish.
Yeah, he's like 24. He looks ridiculous for a classic guy relative to shape. But your legs do need to be a bit bigger, mate. Like relative to how wide and like.
Please send me some real shots.
Privately. I think your hamstrings and glutes. I think just lower body development, mate, and then as well just getting maybe a little bit sharper. Like he just looks a touch off.
The thing is, like 1 week out, that's not the time. To get sharper. Doesn't. Like just fill up and.
I'd also say it's not the time to ask other people for their opinions on your physique.
He asked me actually on my question box. I did questions the day before last. He asked me about like pulling GH out prior to the show, and like I answered it, and I was like, I almost don't want to answer because if he's going to take my opinion, I basically said like you should have already experimented pulling it out, seeing how things are, seeing how the look is. If you're like 6 days out, 7 days out, and you're like, right, I'm going to ask Reece. Well, I think I should know about GH. You pull it out, you then end up looking really flat. You put it back in, you get a water surge, you look shit.
Has he got a coach?
I think so, but it's almost where like sometimes the problem is people like this put out feelers. Maybe I'm not saying like, this is a bad thing about you, Lynn, but you might be putting out feelers to 5 people that he respects and listens to.
Yeah.
Which obviously I'm glad that clearly like me and Finn are some of them, and as a result, like we'll obviously give you opinion. But then also there's a time where it's just listen to your coach, stick to the basics, and don't fucking be changing stuff based off our opinions.
You know what's like important as well, like. In the last week before, this won't even come out by the time he's done this show.
Yeah, so
the last thing, no, it's true.
best look, right?
But the last thing you need telling is like, oh, you're not ready.
I know, just stress you out.
A week
wouldn't
out,
it?
you need telling, right, you look good, let's just chill out, like enjoy, let's have a couple of days, just work on your posing.
And it's not like he's not ready, he is ready, he just could be a touch sharper.
Yeah.
Like for the shows he's doing,
great.
he looks wicked, he looks really good.
But I think a lot of the time people in the final week think that they either have to really dig and like get all the fat off in that last week, or they try and do like a crazy peak week and freshen up.
Yeah.
You're going to keep whacking the table.
As soon as I dropped my phone, I looked up and I was
I
like...
don't put mine on the table.
Yeah.
Even you putting yours on the table, get it off.
He's got a soft touch.
Yeah, but you can't hear it. I don't like holding my phone. If I'm not on my phone, I don't like holding it.
Yeah, but it's like, put it there. Look.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. It annoys me.
Okay, Will Razzo
Yeah.
has asked, would you both ever look into making your own federation? I don't know if he's asking you to.
Yeah, I think we would.
What would you call it?
What
What would it be about?
You
Milrie.
have to be naked.
Naked,
Everyone.
fully naked. Just guys?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, just guys from abroad.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's great.
Six week magical protocol or whatever it's going to be, like 6 week rapid fat loss phase.
Yeah.
Winner gets to spend a night in someone's bed?
Yeah. No, actually,
In between us.
We sleep in separate beds, but she has a bloke in it.
Yeah.
That's why the separate beds are.
This is funny, actually. I was actually thinking
I don't
about...
think it's funny, bro. I wouldn't be laughing.
I'd be worried.
Yeah.
No, this is in terms of like setting up a federation. Like I was actually thinking about this the other day. Not like I was going to, but I was like, I wish there was like a bodybuilding federation which focused like a little bit less on conditioning. I feel like
Is that because you know you're not going to get in shape?
I get leave.
just so I can enter it and be soft. But no, like I feel like a lot, especially in natural bodybuilding, it's very like conditioning is king, and like you see some people that win shows or place higher than someone who's got a lot more muscle and maybe more shape just because they're diced as fuck. Like
You
I
do
get
look
it.
better, guys.
I get it. You look better.
Yeah,
with
but it
you.
should be a balance.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, like, if you are leaner, you will look bigger.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah.
then there comes a point where you do just run yourself into the ground, like I did, trying to get lines in your glutes.
Yeah.
And that's all you're thinking about. You're not thinking about your overall shape. You're just thinking about being the leanest on stage. And then people do run into just like getting worse and worse and worse.
So what would the balance be? Just a little bit less condition, like
Yeah.
NABBA
Yeah.
sound.
Yeah.
To be fair, I would argue BMBF. But then even then, BMBF, like, that Matthias won the overall, and he wasn't the biggest, but he was just like peeled.
He looked good.
He was good. WMBF, they do favour condition, UK FBA. But again, you say favour condition, like Millie said, like
They do
you
just
look
look better.
Yeah.
Would you two set up a federation?
I think
The once you're in federation?
I think the stress of it
It would be
difficult.
Yeah.
Like, imagine like constantly having to get back to people about, like, oh, I've registered, but I'm going to change show and this. I think it would be hard.
I'd happily pay, like not a federation, but I'd happily pay like to have a show. You know how, like, for example, Fuad.
I think we'll do that soon.
Yeah, you know how like Fuad. Have you seen Fuad has a show that's run through the NPC?
Yeah.
So he has his show where he just pays.
There's quite a few of those.
Yeah,
aren't
and
there?
it's his show, and he just gets like a few of his. So like Fuad has obviously his like show that's like run through the NPC, and I think like potentially in the future that could be something. And then we said, obviously you said then, the once you're in Open Cup.
Yeah. No, like, so obviously
What would be the prize?
You'd have to shorten the name down.
Yeah.
Once you're in cup.
OYIYI Cup.
the OYIYI Open. I didn't say cup. Where's cup?
That's a tongue twister. That
What
is.
would be our trophy? We'd have to have like an actual like
Something
dildo
really
or
like
something.
funny. Yeah. A photo of me going.
Yeah.
And then your photo like this.
Yeah. Your arse out.
Yeah.
Just two figures of that.
No, I think if we were to sponsor a two-row show, I think one we'd just end up taking the piss.
Yeah, we would. We'd get banned. My career would be over. But, yeah.
I
Like,
You've
know though,
badmouthed all the feds anyway.
I would like to do it. Like, it would be cool, and it would be the once you're in Open, but then it's just long.
Yeah.
The OYIYI Open, the OYIYI Classic.
Once you're in sounds better.
Yeah, I wouldn't say. Yeah, it doesn't really have much of a ring to it. Or
Yeah, it'd be like Youre In finals or something
Youre
like that. Yeah.
Sounds like
Youre
piss.
In.
Yeah, you've won, mate.
You're
You went to. You've won.
Yeah. But no, I think
once you're in Open.
Yeah. Yeah, still bad, isn't it?
That's not
Clutching the straws here, mate.
Comment below.
Help us out, please. Right, so one of my clients has asked, Deanna, she's competing this year. Do you know Deanna?
Yes.
Yeah.
In general, what would you expect from a prep week by week? So Ed, sorry, you can't answer.
Yeah, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Millie.
Millie, for a female, what would you say? Like, obviously, you don't be like week 20, you're going to be like this, but like when,
Get, like,
if you were to like
Yeah.
There
break
was
it
a
down,
25 carb reduction.
Yeah. So,
Steps increased.
what was your starting weight?
Starting weight was in pounds. No, I did pre-prep and got basically starting weight was 164. The heaviest I got in my off season was like 174, I think.
Yeah, fat mass.
Fat
Yeah,
mass, completely fat mass. But yeah, I got my lowest prep weight was 129, I think.
Yeah,
That
just
was, like,
got under the
depleted.
130s, didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'd say for the first, how long was my prep? Like 23 into the first year. For the first like 15 weeks is fine. Like it's actually quite. You get into such a routine. You don't feel like much has changed. Like obviously you're getting a bit leaner.
Just
but
feels like a normal
you're just
diet,
taking along.
doesn't it?
Like
it doesn't feel any different to like an off season.
It
You're
doesn't.
just moving more.
it's like prep
eating
starting,
less.
and then it starts, and you're like, oh, like you just.
Yeah,
nothing-
that's how it should feel though,
it
because
doesn't-
you were
yeah.
regimented in your off season.
It doesn't feel like prep, I'd say, until about 6 weeks out for me personally. But yeah, you don't really. There isn't a point you get to be like, right, I'm fucked. You just gradually
slowly
get
get
more
more
but you're
fucked,
always
yeah.
fine, aren't you? Like you're always like
You just crack on. Yeah.
you accept, you kind of adapt to how shit you feel, so you
Yeah.
feel good because. But obviously, compared to now, you don't. You
Yeah.
feel shit. But
I think that like what you said then, like from like that 6 week out point, most people will feel like that because that's when you get close to
Yeah.
stage condition.
Yeah.
Before that, no matter how hard you're digging, even if you're on very low food and high expenditure,
if you're not
still
lean,
got a
you
decent
can't be
amount of
that
fat.
fucked,
It's
can
like
you?
you're alright. Yeah. When you get
Yeah.
leaner and closer, it's like, oh, now I
Yeah.
can tell. Like, yeah, I feel a bit battered.
Yeah.
What was your lowest your food got?
I think.
Like expenditure and stuff. What was like that?
Yeah, so towards like when I was digging the most, I'd say cardio was 45 minutes every day on Stairmaster, 50 minutes every day on rest days. The lowest
Extra
like
5 minutes.
yeah, burn all those
Yeah.
calories. Rest day calories got to like 1300, I think, and that was like not a lot, like minimal carbs. And training day, to be fair, I think like 1500 was the lowest it got.
Yeah.
But to me, I'm quite tall. I guess that's actually really quite low.
What was your starting food at in comparison?
2800 it started at.
Okay.
Yeah, so I didn't. It wasn't like drastic.
My food got down to 1355 calories on a rest day.
Yeah.
45 carb.
Yeah.
But
again, like I didn't like struggle with hunger. It's a weird in prep, isn't it?
You
Like,
don't.
you're
get
not hungry.
No,
you just feel like you're about to die if you don't eat. Like pass out because you're like hypo.
Remember when you did go hypo and you messaged me?
I was at work and I just like full on hypo, like when you just really don't feel good. I was like soaking wet. And I was like, I've gone hypo. What do I do?
No, yeah, I don't even think you put I've gone hypo. You put like something like
I'm back.
I think I'm going to die.
I think
yeah,
I was
you were like
low-key
kind of joking,
but like
but,
wasn't.
yeah, I think you did know what had happened, but I think you put something like
I was just
feel like
floating
I'm going
around
to
Bristol
die.
City Centre,
I
like,
think-
what the fuck's
I
going
think this is what going hypo feels like. And I think
This is what death feels like.
I was like, yeah, don't worry. I was like,
But
just
yeah,
like
that's
relax.
Probably it wasn't like the hunger. It's when you genuinely feel like ill is when it's quite hard. I'd say like you just get to the point you feel a bit like shit. I really am not healthy right now. But, yeah. No, I was fine. I went to week by week. I would say there wasn't any like drastic changes. It is just so gradual. You don't really notice, do you? But obviously, yeah.
Have you got questions?
I've got a question from JP that I've memorised because I've got no service in it.
Okay.
Oh, you should've
Guess
given
what the
Wi-Fi.
topic is from JP.
Food.
It is food.
Wow.
The question was, if you've got a mixing bowl that you can fill with whatever you want, calories don't count, what are you filling it with?
What are you binging?
Like what he said, what are you
He said
binging?
that.
So what are you picking to fill a mixing bowl with?
What's a mixing bowl like? How
Like a
big?
Like a bowl, you'd have like your fucking
Like a big
240 grams of
bowl.
Cocoa Pops in.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd want to eat that much of anything. Do you know what I mean?
Has it got to be one thing?
Yeah.
Can it be multiple?
I
probably-
assume he means one meal, one type of meal.
If it's just one food, that's quite hard. If it's a few things, I
Yeah.
don't think like, I'd probably put like a few bits in.
I think it really depends.
Well, let's
because,
answer it both ways.
Okay, so let's go with one thing. If you have to, a mixing bowl and you've got to have it, it's one thing.
Yeah.
if it's a whole mixing bowl, I'd just be thinking of something easy. So I'd say like rice and
Is it
chicken.
enjoyable though, or is it
because
to
like
finish?
if I was
Do
to
you know
have
what I
like a mixing bowl of like cookies, I would feel
Yeah,
so
yeah.
sick.
But I think
by the end.
You know, you say calories don't count.
Yeah.
But would I still feel
Yeah, the
disgusting?
feel of calories.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I guess so. I
'Cause, like,
assume
I'd
as
have
well.
dates. Like, I'm obsessed with dates.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Right?
JP
Yeah.
asked
So
it.
I'd have dates,
Ooh.
but that's like I'd be having like 5,000 calories.
Yeah,
And
it's
I'd
a lot of
I'd probably
dates.
die.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Give yourself diabetes.
No, probably,
One more.
honestly, that'd be like awful.
I
The
think.
go-to would just be like cereal, wouldn't it? Because you kind of have.
You
Yeah.
know
that
what I think I
anyway.
could do and it'd just be sound?
Yeah.
Jasmine rice, beef mince,
Yeah.
and like olive
I
oil.
was gonna say
Yeah.
something similar. Sticky rice,
Yeah,
Yeah.
sticky rice.
beef mince with
Bit of
sweet
veg.
teriyaki sauce.
Yeah, that is nice actually.
Oh.
Yeah. What would yours be? Mark?
Are we doing for ease or like?
Let's do for
Enjoyment.
both. Let's do. So, what would you, Ed? What would you be your binge? JP
That would be both. The
No, no. What would be your
Don't
disgusting?
lie, it'd be
I
like
want to
loads
feel.
of Five Guys.
Burgers.
Yeah. No, I do love a burger. Yeah, like a fight, like a
When
couple.
did you last have one?
Huh?
You
The
go
last
to
one?
Vegas, mate. You get
Do you have on post workout?
No.
You need to go to
What have you
Vegas.
had post workout?
What did you have?
Huh?
What did you have? Cocoa Pops in it?
Yeah. Go Pops. No, I had a KFC and a Burger King.
Did it?
Really?
We had nowhere to stop. We were in a rush.
You had no one.
Not me.
Mate, I know.
Hey, this is the standard, isn't it? Like, this is just the normal. Like KFC.
It's
about
not.
what?
Like, that's not the standard. Millie had her own.
I had
food.
my-
I had
She's
mine.
dropped me in it. Though.
Yeah.
I didn't say
Please don't
anything.
tell
We
me.
agreed. We agreed not to say anything about that.
Yeah.
Why didn't you
Before
bring
the
food?
I bought. Did I bring food? I bought food for this morning.
Well, to
But the
activate-
plan
Mate, you
was
were
the
out
plan.
for 2 days.
Yeah, the plan was to do a food shop, but I didn't know we wouldn't have any. I didn't know we'd be going straight from training to here.
Okay.
So that is my
Rookie
excuse.
error. And as a result of that, Finn's got one question regarding what was that? 6 weeks coming up soon. Millie's going away for 6 weeks. We got told not to bring this up.
Yeah, let's just bring everything up we shouldn't bring. But yeah, mine would be like Five Guys. Like I do.
Five
like,
Guys
I
in a
do,
massive mixing bowl.
What,
Yeah, blend it up, blend it up and drink it.
Five blokes.
Five
yeah.
men.
Five blokes,
Yeah,
yeah.
5 men. I love
Oh
it.
yeah,
Give me more than a mix of all.
mate, get me a bathtub of that.
Forget the mixed bowl. I just want loads of blokes.
Yeah, yeah.
Imagine like a plan burrito, like a huge one that was like
What? Like an
yeah,
actual burrito?
Yeah,
or
plan burrito.
would you want the burrito or have it as the bowl?
The bowl would be nice.
But it gets a bit boring. I quite like the
Yeah.
burrito itself.
I love a burrito.
Yeah, but if you were to have like a massive tortilla or in the
And then it
bowl,
go,
yeah,
but then imagine trying to eat it.
yeah.
Be all down.
I think either way, it's going to be difficult to eat, isn't it?
I could eat a bowl of
Well-
custard. I love custard.
It's not a bad shout
It's quite
actually.
easy, isn't
Liquid
it?
it. Cream of rice,
Yeah.
Bit of banana in the custard.
oats,
I can't stand
oats
cream of
in
rice.
prep.
In prep, I could eat a kilogram of it, but now
A gram,
A
massive,
gram.
yeah, a gram of oats. Like 2 or 4
That's what the food was on. Yeah, meal 1 gram of oats.
Gianna, this is what it's like. Don't prep. Just sack me and stop.
Can you imagine like having a meal 1 gram of oats? You're just like trying to save.
one little teaspoon.
Splitting it into two, like fucking.
No, I've recently gone off oats a bit actually.
Have you?
Since prep, I've just.
Yeah, too fat, need to diet again. That's
Yeah.
what it is.
Making the move to
Diet a bit.
granola, aren't you?
I have them. I still have them in the evening. I do enjoy them.
Yeah.
Right, if we're not doing football questions,
What was the football question? Because that's Ed's.
it was. If not, too fair. I'm gonna ask this because it's Liverpool related.
Okay.
And Ed's a Liverpool fan. So it was from Lewis, my client, and he asked, if not Xavi Alonso, then who?
The Ruben Amarin.
I would have said Zerbi, however you say his name, but he's been the last couple of months. He's been wank.
Mate, his football, it'd be a criminal. It'd be a crime to watch it at Liverpool.
I'm at the point the
The
coach
open
market.
play,
The coaching market
blah.
isn't great at the minute.
No.
There's not a lot going on
Would
Like-
you take Mourinho for a year if you then got Alonso the following
for
year?
the vibes. Yeah,
Yeah,
you?
for the vibes, 100%.
I think it has to be Alonso.
Yeah,
It's Alonso or bust for me.
yeah, I think the same. I said that when we.
Yeah,
Imagine
yeah.
if you don't get him, it will be a bit.
Ruben
like-
Amarin from the Portuguese league is really good. They
Who's
like
the-
him.
Who's the manager?
Benfica? It's what Lisbon.
Lisbon.
Yeah. He's really good. Apparently he's like clear number 2, which is quite cool. You're allowed to use one movement for push, one movement for pull, one for legs. What are you choosing, guys?
Go on, Mel.
One general legs, like just.
Yeah, legs, push, pull.
Please choose a quad exercise.
I was
Yeah,
going
you
to say
really-
leg press to be fair. Yeah, leg press probably.
Which kind?
I'm liking the gym lecker one at the moment. To be
Nice,
fair.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Got that
It's the
tomorrow.
trendy one. I'm going to use it tomorrow.
That's good.
Pull. Maybe like. I was going to say deadlift, but that's kind of legs as well, isn't it?
You can have that. That's not
I'll
a
do
bad
deadlift
shout.
because my upper body is better than my legs. So
Yeah.
push, maybe like a dumbbell shoulder.
You like your dumbbell pressing, don't
Yeah, I
you?
quite like a dumbbell
Yeah.
press. Mid incline.
I'd go incline barbell for push. I'd go legs. I'd probably go for like a dumbbell split squat. I feel like it covers.
That's such a
Even though you've not
war
been doing it, and you've been doing the gym like a hip press instead.
Yeah, exactly. But in terms of something that can
That'd
touch
be
all
like saying legs
bases,
to be like,
like
That's not
obviously,
bad. It's
seat
not a
calf
bad
raise,
shout.
another seat calf raise.
Yeah,
Oh.
that's not a bad shout. I know
no,
what you're saying,
abductor
man.
machine, mate.
Yeah. What about adductors for Josh Jenkins?
Yeah, he needs a lot of them.
Yeah.
More sets.
Yeah. Thoughts on adductors for Josh
Yeah,
Jenkins?
shocking,
That's the
mate.
next question, actually.
Yeah.
Thoughts on Josh Jenkins adductors?
Yeah, they're awful, mate.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah, terrible. And he's got size 11 feet.
Weird, that, isn't it?
Yeah, really weird.
Has he actually?
And he's short. He's short. He's shorter than me.
No, you know the size 11 feet. Did he tell you about what I said about him way before you mentioned it? Because I got him some of those custom shoes that I got. So
Yeah.
some like custom Jordans, and I asked, what's his name? Looks like Mbappe.
Ethan.
Yeah, looks like Mbappe. That's Josh Jenkins' line. That's actually what he called him Mbappe. That is not. I did not make that up. But yeah, either way, sorry guys, Josh mentioned it. Anyway, looks like Mbappe.
He does look like
Ethan.
Mbappe.
He does look
Yeah.
like Mbappe. It's quite a good compliment. He looks cool. So I asked
Looks a bit
him,
like a
can you
frog.
like when he takes his shoes off, like what for deadlifts? Can you
Yeah.
like just ask him, try and find what shoe size? He is?
Yeah.
And he sent me him. I was like 11, and I was like, really?
Like, you're taking
11,
the
Josh?
piss.
11? I was
Yeah.
like, didn't expect that.
Yeah.
So yeah, size 11.
Yeah, but he's one of those, isn't he? Like one of those blokes that's like really is a size 7, but he puts 11s on, so people think he's got massive cunt. I was like that at school. Like I'm like an 8, but like I'd try and get like 9s or 10s,
If you could.
and be like, yeah, boys, I'm a 10, and like you're not thin. Like, like you press on my toes, and my mum would be like, let's see how much room we've got.
That is so weird.
I've never done that in my life.
That is so weird.
Yeah,
What size are you?
9.
yeah, I'm a 9.
Which I think is quite standard. I don't know. Is it?
I'm an 8.
Yeah, big feet.
Big
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Split squat. I think it covers glutes, quads. That's about it, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a decent choice.
What was your pull?
My
Did you say
pull. I think I'd just go for like a pull up.
It's not a bad shout.
I think a pull up in
Yeah.
terms of just general trying to.
What would yours be, mate?
Probably for push, some form of incline machine press.
Yeah.
Like the Atlantis incline at the minute, I'm very much enjoying that. Are you doing that tomorrow?
Oh yeah, if you want.
Yeah.
Sound.
You want to go to town on it?
Yeah.
What have you done it before?
I have done it before.
What's your best on it?
The best I've done, I did it in not Ultra Flex, Ultimate Fitness in Brum, and I put 6 plates aside, but that was all that fit. I could have put more.
No, you are strong at pressing, to be fair.
Cheers, mate.
So yeah, probably some form of incline press, deficit row for back.
Well, I like that.
Deficit,
one,
yeah, buddy.
It's a good row.
It is a good row. And then for legs, probably a leg press, like you say, linear, Jim Lecco. Maybe the Cybex squat press. I do like it.
Yeah.
I can't get to love that, something doesn't quite sit right with me.
I'd say, yeah, squat press, stiff leg, medium incline Smith. Simple.
Yeah, there we go.
You could. The thing is, you could easily just build a very good physique from like those 3 things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Do you have any questions, or did you not put
No, I
one
don't
on your
think
story?
I got a question. Do you want me to go again? From Joe Care. Thoughts on my opinion as a bodybuilder?
Thoughts
Thoughts on my opinion?
No, thoughts on
What's your opinion, Joe?
Thoughts, yeah, no, what was it? Was it
What you thinking,
opinions?
mate?
Honest opinions on my potential as a bodybuilder. So there you go. You can flick through his photos. That's Joe. He's 14 kilos up. He's competing.
Is
this
he
year.
nutty or?
He's enhanced.
Oh, he's still quite lean.
Yeah, 14 kilos up in that condition.
How old is he?
Quad
24.
feathers.
24.
Yeah, that's some like pretty mid lighting, like just some checking photos. Obviously, you like to look like that in the morning is pretty cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think he's a lot better from the front than he is from the
His
back.
back's a bit weak. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the same.
Yeah.
Yeah, remember these to send to Sam.
Order.
He does look like he loves himself.
Do you reckon?
Yeah.
It's like-
Yeah. I don't know what it is.
That's his opinion.
My opinion on you as a bodybuilder,
The
mate.
funny thing is, I'd actually say, he's the absolute opposite.
Really?
Like, yeah, he's very.
I don't know. It might
How
be the
did you
trim.
get that
It's because
from
he's got the same hair as you.
And anyone like this.
Yeah. It's just automatically a twat.
Yeah, he's
No,
competing this year.
he's got a lot of muscle and he's pretty lean for how heavy did you say he was?
He's 98 kilos.
Yeah,
40
he's
kg up.
Yeah, 14
He's-
was the lowest, which is ridiculous because he's
Yeah.
like still really lean.
he's still got abs.
That's when he started.
Yeah, it looks really good. I think, like Ed said, like from the back, he's not as good. His glutes and hamstrings from the back, especially, and adductors from the back.
Yeah.
Need more. He's posing on his side chest. He can definitely make his legs look better. Hide those gaps between his body. But no, he does look really good. And like, yeah, for being that amount of weight up, he's still very, very lean.
Yeah.
It's one of those, like we said though, like he's in a good spot, but it's one of those where you pull off 5 kilos and he looks worse.
Yeah,
Or
you
he
almost
looks
lose
the
that
same.
little bit of fullness, and it's like, oh, he's not actually that
As lean as I
close
thought.
to, yeah. Because if you were to look him there, considering he's like starting prep in like a month or two, you'd be like, fucking hell, he's lean. He's like, looks like he's like 10 weeks out. But realistically, once you drop that level of fullness, you're almost like. I've been saying to Finn, like, I want to still start him when I start him. I've been saying to him, I could start you later, but like, you still have weight to come off.
Yeah.
So yeah, it'll be good to see. He could be doing finals at PCA against Jacob, so be modified zone. Let's have 2 people.
Really?
Yeah, which would be quite cool.
Would that be? Has he competed before?
He has, but not really.
All right.
He did one show when he was like 5 years ago, out of shape, and just stepped on stage like
just for the banner.
Yeah, you know, like just like a rookie first time.
Yeah,
But he's a legit Jacob.
I thought he didn't do a show.
No, he did. Yeah, he's competed.
You can't do first.
Is it
time.
Jacob
No,
or Jakob?
Jakob.
Jakob.
But people call him
but
Jacob.
Yeah. I'm sure when I asked him his name, he said Jacob. To me.
Yeah, he says Jacob to the Brits, and then to the Polish people, it's Jakob.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
I mean, your client, is it Jacob Tipper?
Yeah.
His legs are a fucking joke.
Stupid, isn't it?
I see him on your story, and I'm like, fucking hell.
He's good.
I'll show you so Finn can get the questions. Just like have a look. These were from this morning, so just go through that. Like, he's
His
absolutely
quads are a
joke.
fucking joke.
Yeah.
Look at that. And how old is he?
19.
19.
Yeah. I'm training with him this week, which will be good. So
He is very good. Again, you got a few things to send to Sam, mate.
I know. Yeah, sorry guys. We're just showing everyone.
Yeah, but we'll have the photos on the screen now.
Is he prepping, is he?
Yeah, he's doing the first lot of the shows with
But
that.
his legs are so good that it doesn't really matter. Well, obviously it does matter, but like
Yeah.
his upper body's not amazing, but his legs are that good that it just fucking.
it just stands
He's
out.
he's got the best quads I've ever seen on 19.
Yeah.
Like by some distance.
Yeah.
Like by quite some distance.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Yeah, very
Yeah.
good. Right, last question for me. Butcher's Wet Dream has asked, do you prefer the deadlift bar or stiff bar for stiffer deadlifts?
Oh, you've got a good opinion. Yeah, 'cause you used it, so.
Yeah. So I obviously pulled with a stiff bar when I was powerlifting. So you've got like the power bars that I pulled on for like 3-4 years, and when I would like mess around and have a go on a deadlift bar after using a stiff bar for ages, I'd say like, this is fucking shit. How do people lift more with this? Like, it feels horrible. But I lift with a deadlift bar now, and I actually prefer it just because I feel like it's easier to kind of get into a rhythm. Like, obviously it has that bit of give
Up until 8 reps.
up until 8
So
reps.
did you hit 8?
Yeah. When you have to stop at 8. I do prefer a deadlift bar now, but I know like
Is that
John,
because you're more of a skilled, like you've got more experience?
I would say
and
I'm
you
quite a skilled puller
Yeah.
in terms of like I've got good technique with it.
Okay.
Like,
Pull
well,
down.
I mean, look at Josh's deadlift technique.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But he pulls better from a stiff bar.
Yeah.
Because he's recently switched over, hasn't he? He was
Mhm.
pulling from a deadlift bar, and he prefers a stiff bar because it's more responsive straight away,
Yeah.
and he finds that better. So
No, I'm the same as that. I,
It's-
like,
it's personal preference,
yeah.
isn't
I
it?
don't like
Stiff
it
bar.
being so hard off the floor. Do you know what I mean? Like,
But it's not necessarily hard off the floor. It's just
takes longer.
having that
Yeah,
that
like-
patience.
Yeah. You have to almost have like. I think as you get more skilled, a deadlift bar becomes more of an asset
Yeah.
than a hindrance, which it can be when
I
you're
think
lesser
as well,
skilled.
as you get stronger.
Yeah.
It makes no sense using a deadlift bar
Yeah.
if you're doing less than like.
Especially if it's
3
not a very
plates.
whippy deadlift bar, you wouldn't even notice it.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think there's the time and a place. But then I also think when it gets to like I said to you, when it gets like past 5-6 plates on a deadlift bar, there's so much slack that I don't think it actually helps much.
Yeah.
Like I did a 308 deadlift at Dragon's Lair with a stiff bar
Yeah.
and matched like I think my best that I had ever had previously on 300, and I hadn't pulled on a stiff bar at all in my off season.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like I said to Sam, as he was filming, I was like, stiff bar, I don't know, it's like 7 plates, it worked out because of the pounds conversion, it was a bit heavier. And it felt really good because it was a stiff bar. And whenever I get past 7 plates, or more so 6, it's like, you literally have to yank it up, gets to your fucking knee, like
And then-
full shin,
even.
And then the
before
whip
weight
catches you as well.
And then, and it's like, I almost think perfect stiff leg, perfect stiff bar is like, up to 220, then 280 onwards,
Yeah.
and then that middle ground is like perfect for a deadlift bar.
The primal deadlift bar that we used to use at Evo, that was good.
Yeah, that
It's
was
like,
nice.
It's
Yeah.
not really like
It's
slack,
not a legit,
but it's not stiff. It's quite good.
Yeah, most of the Texas deadlift bars are shy. Like
Yeah.
they're a bit too.
Yeah,
whippy.
got too
But the whip can literally pull you out of position. Like, I think that's what.
Fucked him up.
Yeah, and Josh didn't like.
Yeah.
He get to the top and fucking bounces around a little bit, and then you lose your upper back tension, and then
For
your
me,
sets fast.
it's more so because of the whip. I
It
feel
puts
like
you
I
into
can
that
like
compromised
be
position,
more,
yeah.
almost more aggressive with it, and I'm like,
You have to do the opposite.
Yeah, it's almost.
You
like,
actually have to take it
yeah.
more conservative with the slack. Like, I'm not an aggressive puller off the floor, but it almost suits me more with it. Yeah. But it almost suits me more on a
Or the
deadlift
single
bar.
on 240.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Oh yeah, the 0.0 reps.
Yeah.
That was good. That was really fun.
Yeah, progressively weaker than what you were years ago.
Yeah.
Natural bodybuilding, eh?
That's it, mate.
Yeah, test is coming down. You know, better get this prep out the way, buddy.
Peak off season, but your test's still coming down. You know you're going to be prepping.
Yeah. Just
The thought of it.
Yeah.
Right, are we wrapped up?
Yeah, sound. That's that.
Come on.
Yeah, wicked. Right,
Thanks
thank
for
you guys.
having us.
Have you enjoyed it?
Yeah, loved
I
it.
think it's been a good one. Yeah,
Good.
it's been
I
a good
loved the
chat.
part where we spoke about tracking kids.
We didn't. That was before we went live.
Yeah, that was before, guys.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, I had to explain me getting outed for something racist, which wasn't racist.
Yeah, I've just ruined the podcast.
Yeah, Sam, you're gonna have to put it in now. It's
Yeah, well, there we go.
Just before we go, please do like and subscribe and all that jazz. Follow us on Instagram.
At a rapid rate.
Yeah, we have been gaining. Subscribers have gone up rapidly, so thank you very much for that. We hope. Well, to be fair, by the time this comes out, we'll be on 700. So let's get up to 750 pretty soon. And then a follow on Spotify, follow on Instagram, a rating on Spotify. All would be appreciated.
Sound? Right, that's that, guys. See you later. Bye bye.